better subscribe to Pine Tree Line Outdoors, and here's why. Have a look. It's been an incredible time. Aubrey Falls. Why are we here? What is this abomination behind us? Okay.
Good evening, and welcome to the Heikadelic Show. We would like to take this moment to let you know that viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised. So sit back, have yourself a nice cool drink or hot drink, and enjoy the show. And welcome once again to the Heikadelic Show.
Hey boys, what's shaking?
Hey guys.
Hey, yeah. Well, hey, you, Derek, keep both hands on the wheel. Smart enough.
Yeah.
Up for coming.
Keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes upon the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
You woke up this morning, make yourself a deal. Yeah.
Yeah, your hands upon the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you call being dedicated. You're late for the show, but you're still on.
Yeah. That's not quite true. He was trying to escape, actually. He didn't want to be on the
I'm
show
trying to
tonight.
get away from you guys.
And we actually just caught up with him in his truck. There's no escape. You're a lifer, mate.
Derek's a few minutes from his little studio. Yeah. So, Derek, I'll put you in the green room until you get set up, and in a minute.
All right.
Okay, guys. So,
Well, boys.
yeah,
right.
It's another week. I can't believe it. It almost flies, just completely flies by, So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It seems like that sometimes. Like, holy shit! I just talked to you guys the other day.
That's right.
Yeah.
2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
Hang on. I can hear something here. Just hang on. I can hear something.
Oh.
got a little
Man after my own heart. Cheers. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
cheers.
Mm.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm,
Oh.
Now we're talking.
yeah.
Now I can talk too because I'm all lubricated.
I'm kind of glad the weeks are going by fast because next week we have none other than Mr. Darren Frost on, and Darren is just a phenomenal
Yeah.
comedian. But
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen him live at Yuck Yucks.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a family show, folks. Just saying.
No, it won't be.
There we go.
Yeah, there'll be lots of that going on.
So, Hike, you were asking me what I did this weekend, and I can't for the life of me remember. So we'll probably
Well, I was sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching George do something crazy with his beer there. He was like shaking it or something.
Oh, yeah. It's got a widget in it and, ring out every last drop,
Trying to get every bit out of there, eh?
Yeah, it all foamed up when I opened it. So
what do you do
Okay.
with the widget? You just leave it.
yeah, I'm just letting it settle now, as you can see.
Oh, I see. So you poured it in a glass.
Yeah, and then it
Yeah,
settles.
honestly, when I get Kilkenny, I drink it from a
I know
can.
you do. You heathen.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't do that. So what's the ball do when?
It releases it. It releases the whatever into it. So it's
Oh.
Yeah, you really want to know what the widget is for? They put that in cans that are not beer, and they try and make it look like beer.
No,
Kilkenny, Guinness, all that stuff. They put a widget in it.
There's nothing wrong. I've got some of that as well.
Kilkenny's great beer. No no.
Oh, it's great. I love it. It goes down so.
Yeah, it's not carbonated like regular beer. The widget itself is under pressure, and when you open up the can, it releases pressure, and then that puts the bubbles in your beer.
Yeah.
Right.
But I remember when the widgets in Guinness first happened. It was like the late 80s, and my brother-in-law came over, and he brought me some over because it hadn't reached here yet.
Okay.
So he got 6. It was either 4 or 6 he got, and put in his suitcase. Right.
Oh.
I was thinking, and one of them exploded.
Of course.
And he had like Guinness stains all over his summer shirts and everything. So
yeah, perfect.
So
that'll teach him.
Yeah, he went off Guinness that day.
That'll learn you.
I said, Jeff, that's one of yours. It's not one of mine. I'm not sharing. So that was it.
Before widgets, was Guinness flat?
Yeah, it was horrible.
It still is.
No, it's not. I mean, like, draft Guinness is nectar of the gods.
Oh, God. Let's not get into that.
I used to drink Guinness and eat pizzas when I was running marathons. It was great.
And you ate peaches?
Pizzas. Oh, pizza and Guinness was like my regimen to run marathons, which I did back in the day.
Yeah, and I knew someone from England. They drank Guinness too, but they drank it at room temperature as well. So flat room temperature swill.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, in the Caribbean, they put condensed milk in it, like carnation milk.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's great. Actually, it's great.
Is it?
See, I told you, it's not beer.
It's nectar of the gods. It's not beer. It's far superior. It's been elevated from the, nether regions of beer. It's life-saving. In fact, I think in hospitals, I think it's a source of iron. I mean, doctors used to prescribe it.
What, beer?
Guinness. A bottle of Guinness a day and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a youngster, I used to. I did some work at a hospital in a terminal ward, and it was an interesting experience. But this old fella up there, he was blind. He had a lot of other issues, but they would bring him a beer every night with his dinner, and he'd have a beer after dinner. So I mean, he was blind, so I'd drink it and switch it up for one of those near beer things, and never do. So I'm kidding. I didn't do that. It was quite an experience, though. I was kind of very surprised that you could actually serve alcohol in a hospital.
Yeah. Well, Europe is totally different than North America, hands down. Like even when the buses used to come to the companies for blood donations.
Right.
So if you gave blood, you went out on the bus, you give them your pint, and you got a sandwich and a beer.
A sandwich?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, sandwich and a beer. That's it, and then you went back to work.
Right, there you go.
It's just the way it is.
It's very civilized. That's what we like.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. Me too. Like, I grew up with alcohol when I was a little kid, right? Because, my parents are European, and it was in the house, and that's just, there was nothing bad about it.
Yeah, right? My mum used to drink cherry brandy. That was her favorite tipple.
Yeah, and what my brother and I got as kids was apricot brandy.
Right? She used to have that the odd time, but cherry was her favorite. And that's what I used to get. She was easy to buy for Christmas and birthdays.
Yeah.
Go and buy
get her a bottle.
Get her a bottle. There you go, Mum.
Nice.
Actually, I was difficult to buy for because she never knew what to buy me, right?
Right.
Being a DJ and everything. Because what records you like? I go, well, I went to go and find something. So in the end, she just used to get me a token, at Christmas. Just that's got that for years.
Oh yeah, so you could just go buy your own.
Give me like a gift card, a record, gift token. So every Christmas and like birthday or whatever, I used to get, a card with a thing in it from my mum. So it saved her a lot of hassle.
Yeah.
I got a brandy, she got me gift tokens. It was easy.
That's cool. I remember Christmas back when I was in my early 20s, Sam the Record Man, downtown Toronto, they always had Boxing Day sales.
Oh, yeah.
With the albums.
Oh, God,
oh my God. So I always brought friends with me because I bought more albums that I could carry back to the car.
Yeah.
So Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Well, when I first came here on vacation, first time I ever visited Canada was at 1980, and I was taken downtown and went to Sam the Record Man.
Yep.
It was like an Aladdin's cave. This was in August. It wasn't Christmas time really, but
Right.
I couldn't believe the price of records compared to the UK.
Yeah, so cheap.
They were like, you were paying in dollars. Like, say, a record in the UK was like an album, say, was $5.99 or $4.99 pounds.
Pounds.
It'd be the same in Canadian dollars, like $4.99. But there were like $3 Canadian that year to the pound, so they were like ridiculously. And I bought a stack. It must have been like about 12 inches high. Just loaded them in.
Yeah.
And I put them in the suitcase, and put all my clothes around it and everything, padded it all out. It's going back to Manchester, to England, after 3 weeks, whatever it was. And obviously it was a different time then. I guess the security cameras weren't as good as they are now. Right. And my bag was going through, and the guy looked at it and
it had this big square thing in the middle, right?
And he looks at me, then he calls somebody over and he goes, "Look at this," and they're looking at the screen, right? And I'm like, what's the problem here? And he's like, I did it about a few times, and they talk, and he says, "Have you brought anything large and cylindrical?" Large. I said, "Yeah, there's about 40 albums in there." He went, "Oh, that's what it is." We couldn't figure out what it was. It was a scam.
Just lucky they didn't throw you against the wall and say, "All right, you're coming with us."
Yeah, well, it probably happened now, right? But this was 1980. It's a bit different back then. So yeah, I loved going to Sam the Record, man. Just couldn't believe it.
God, they had albums for like $1.99. It's just crazy.
Unbelievable. I know. It was just worth the trip just to go down there, and
Yeah, I did every Boxing Day. We used to go down. I'd buy albums, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And any time you could go in there was great. It was just such a fantastic place to shop. Just so fantastic.
And then sometimes the ones you couldn't get there, you just go a couple doors down to Sunrise.
Sunrise, A&A was there. But, and there was another one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just awesome.
Brilliant. For a vinyl junkie like me.
I know, eh?
Yeah, I got my fix at there. Yeah, many a time.
That was the only thing, though. An album's an album, but when you get like a dozen or 20, it gets heavy. They're heavy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Got a big hunk of plastic, and now you've got a bunch of them together with cardboard in between. And it's like, holy crap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. What? Derek, the driving drummer. I like it.
Look at and then he runs away.
Yeah, well, I had to turn my light on so you could see me. I'm not in the shadow.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
So you're driving away. You decide to come back.
Well, I would have been back in time, but okay, I'll give you the whole scoop. So I came back from the cottage because my son has soccer. And I decided, while I'm up here, I might as well get my car. I have a pretty big SUV, so I figured I might as well get it cleaned while I'm here, right?
Yeah.
So we get it all cleaned up, and as I'm pulling out, this gentleman says, "Hey, would you mind helping me? Where I got it detailed. There's a U-Haul." So he's like, "Would you mind helping me get this trailer off? It doesn't have a wind-up wheel. Like, how stupid! You got to lift the trailer and."
Are you kidding?
Put a thing under it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Well, as soon as I get out, I look at the guy and I'm like, shit, I know him, right? So I'm like, John, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, hey, Derek, right? And he's like, holy shit, it's a guy who I grew up with his wife's family.
Okay.
And I haven't seen him probably in almost 20 years, but it's just. One of those faces and voices that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of neat. So anyways, I ended up talking to him, and that's why I'm about 15 minutes late.
Yeah, and it's like, gotta go.
Yeah, well, that was it exactly. I'm like, oh shit, man, I gotta go. It's like, all right, good talking to you. So how's everybody doing? I bet you already went through that because.
No, actually, we didn't. We're kind of waiting for you. We're talking about. Sam the Record Man.
Can't remember what happened on the weekend.
Oh, what happened on the weekend? Well,
this weekend,
I remember. I went over to Junior's house.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
saw a picture. Yeah.
I won't. Okay, it wasn't Junior's house. It's Junior's friend's house, and we hung out in the back and had a couple sociable cigarettes, and yeah, it was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, saw you beside the pool there.
Yeah. And he's like, "Holy shit! I didn't think you were that tall."
So
That's funny.
I did follow up and called him last week, so we had a pretty good chat. And,
Good.
Yeah, I gave him some ideas. He's got some things he's looking at doing. Definitely wants to come back on the show again, and would like to partake in anything we got going on that might fit. So he's a really good guest.
Mm.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was also talking to him. Maybe for my band, we might even bring him out to do some little MCing, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. As long as we can get the prices right.
Is that for
why
your
not?
band or the band that we're gonna start? Blood Rock.
Well, once we get to that level, we'll definitely need him,
All
right? Or maybe we should just start it around him.
So do we have to start writing originals, or do we just do covers?
Any band that I'm starting from 45 on, the first time we get together, we have to play covers.
Oh.
You want to know why? Because you get a feel for people if you can just sit together and play and just say, "Hey, let's play this song."
Yep.
And kind of unrehearsed.
Yep.
And you get a feel, right?
So what?
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
What would I have to do?
What would you have to do?
Would I have to
The reach around. Once you master that, you're good.
No, I mean I bait about it all the time, but and I have mastered it. So
What, the reach around?
Yeah, he mastered the bait.
He's still my hand.
Seeing that I've already heard the song once, I'm gonna have a sip now.
So I would probably have to bring. What would I have to bring instrument? Why? Oh, wait a minute. The voice of an angel. Yep. So
Lucifer is singing.
and that's the one thing I really was getting stressed out about was when, like, when you're playing originals and that, you're not, you don't have a big production, like usually like the venues supply PAs, so you're not lugging those anymore. So that got pretty neat. And then, but I could never, like, we do the whole backline setup for the different bands. Oh, you can use my amp, you can do this and that.
Yeah.
But I could never ever get anybody to help me grab my microphones out of the basement. Right?
Yeah, I don't you should ask the drummer. You want to know if you were smart, you just throw it in with the drummer's stuff, throw it in one of his bags. He wouldn't even notice. It's like I went around with a mic in my cymbal bag for about 6 months. And I was like, where the hell did I put that Sennheiser, man? I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, guess where it was? It was in my cymbal bag. Found it like 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
So I mean, the older I got, it was tougher to bring the equipment up. So
the microphones get heavier the older you get, right?
They do.
Well, that's one thing good about with age too. It's like you find people who are more equipped, right? Like I now have a jam room that has everything in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you're a guitarist, you're going to bring your own amp anyways, or you can use the little one that I have. You know what I mean? We can run it through the PA if you need. But everybody seems to have their own setup. So it's like I can go over to 3-4 different people's houses, play with different groups of people, and just bring my sticks. And half the time I don't even bring my pedal because like I'm used to, as you're saying, playing with backline, right?
Yeah.
So you just get used to whatever's there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll bring the voice and a microphone anyway.
Do you keep that in your pocket too?
The voice?
That's not a microphone.
Yeah. Those are my balls. You do need them to be a great thing. But no, I know what you mean, man. I've got three PA systems at least, and 34, 5 guitars or something. But I'll bring 15 when we jam.
I just bought another drum set, and I haven't told my girlfriend yet.
How many of these do you have?
But you just told the whole world.
Well, yeah, no, I have. Okay, I have lots. I've got 2 gigging kits, depending
Yep.
on what color I feel like playing. I've got my kit. You know, everybody has their kit, your mic, your whatever. I've got that one that I leave at home and I only bring out to shows that I'm using it.
Your rig.
Yeah. And then I have, I think I have 4 other drum sets around. Like I ended up getting the very first drum set that I ever owned. I lent it to a kid and I just got that back a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Then I was happened to go to a jam and out on this guy's porch is the exact same kit. Do you remember in the 60s how all the drums were like that marbly kind of blue and stuff?
Yeah, like the Leslie drums. The
Yeah.
those are worth a fortune now.
Oh yeah. Well, so I got ones like that are pink. So I was like, now I got my original kit that's blue, the blue and this pink one. So it's just it's kind of neat.
Very cool.
And if anybody has a floor tom for a cornet, get at me. I need one.
Wow. See, I understand sometimes guys have like 3 or 4 guitars. You know, you could jam those in the closet. You know, you got 4 drum kits. What the hell?
Where do you keep them?
The garage is full.
I've got 7 complete kits.
Oh my God, that's why the cars are parked on the front lawn, right? Not in the garage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I actually have a little cabin that it's all in. The cabin's about the same size as my house, but it's that's where my jam room is.
Nice.
Okay. So what's your, do you always buy like the same brand or make or whatever, or have you got different ones?
For drums, it's usually like snares and stuff I piece together. I like find what I like. I'm a Ludwig guy. I like Ludwig. So if I can get Ludwigs and cheap, I buy them. And I also like I got weird looking drums, like staccatos they're called, right?
Did you buy one of those German drum kits yet?
Yeah.
Everything is square, you know.
No. Well, it's almost. It's kind of ovally square.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's funny, man.
Yeah. No, it's pretty neat. But yeah. So I'm a Ludwig guy. Shout out to Ludwig if you ever want to endorse me, Ludwig.
There you go.
There you go. Now we're talking.
For cymbals, sticks, and stuff like that, I try and get endorsements, and like Soul Tone cymbals, Attack Head. We're all happy. And
How did those work? Do they give you free sticks, or how does that work?
No, you usually get a reasonable discount.
Okay.
Right. Sometimes, like with this collision is these guys who I've been talking with, they asked me to endorse their sticks and I'm like, I got to try them out first. So I bought a brick of them at, artist priced. And then, they'll probably these are our new sticks. Try these. They usually throw you a couple pairs of something else. And of course, shirts and stuff like that.
But who would, how would they, what kind of a company would sponsor The Voice of an Angel?
Probably a funeral home.
That's a good point.
There you go. On Halloween.
On Halloween? No. On Halloween you get the House of Haunt.
Mate, I was in a store like Friday or Thursday last week. There's already Halloween stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's ridiculous.
August is here, man. Halloween's close.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever. So is Easter.
Well,
I couldn't believe it. I thought, holy smokes,
Yeah.
I guess it is. It's like, wow.
Hey George, did I miss your backside tonight?
No, would you like to see it?
I want
Would
to
you
see
like
your
to see my
backside.
backside? Okay.
Yes, please.
Just don't be dropping your drawers.
Hang on.
I just realized the shirt that I'm wearing here, I bought that 2 years before my daughter was born. So I've had this shirt almost 25 years and it still glows in the dark.
is that an original band or what is it? Chills?
That's Chills Rolling Papers.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I actually have this hat on, which is
Tweed.
Tweed, yes.
From like the actual Tweed party?
From the town of Tweed?
Yeah. No?
No.
Okay. Trudeau Park, I think, is where they used to have
It's
the
a
party.
it's a social cigarette company.
Oh, nice.
that seemed to want to just throw me a free hat. I'm like, yeah, I'm in.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Never say no.
Nope.
no. Out for now, as we say where I come from.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's kind of a method to the madness of wearing all these, snapback black hats. So
Yeah.
while I get sent one, I was wearing one though with there's a tattoo parlor that gosh, I can't remember the name of it. But I went in to check it out and bought like a bunch of merch off them, toques and everything. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't think they made it through COVID, right?
Ah.
Oh, no.
That sucks. Hi, Kathy.
Kathy thinks we should do a shots every time I say "Voice of an Angel."
But Kathy, up
Okay,
until today,
I'm
he's
ready.
been doing very
I
good.
don't have enough.
I'm ready.
All right, George, let's see what you got.
Okay, here it is.
Heiko, what are you drinking there?
Hang
Oh, hang on.
A Black Russian.
Really?
There
Yeah.
you go.
Can't call it that anymore.
As you can see, the been blanked out here.
Ah, the
Oh,
face is blanked out, eh?
Yeah,
Oh wow, that's a tough one.
That's
It
a
is.
pretty psychedelic looking album there, buddy.
I think
Oh,
it's
that's 80s.
well.
Yeah, that's
70s.
70s.
I think it's 72 or 73.
I was going to say 70s.
I think it. Hang on a minute. Hang on. I'm not going to say who it is, but I just need to.
Is that a bug on the moon?
Is that a guy hanging from a wall upside down?
This.
No,
No, down. That's some guy.
no, that's some guy holding a child.
Yeah,
Oh, is
Yeah.
that what?
and there's a woman there as well. It's a woman here.
Yeah,
think
man
it-
and a woman.
It seems a little raga. I don't know why.
Oh, can I just make a guess? And this is a pure guess.
Sure.
Purely John Lennon.
John Lennon. And
John Lennon.
yes, that would be.
No, he wouldn't have an album like
No.
that. Come on.
You never know.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley.
Man,
Wow.
Peter Tosh. No, I know it's not Peter Tosh. I just Marley Tosh.
Yeah.
It's a solo album.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. I was figuring with that being a woman, that's why I figured George or John Lennon.
John
I
Lennon.
figured that was Yoko
It's a
with.
good guess. It's a good guess.
Is it a famous album or?
It's not mega famous, but you know,
Pete Townsend.
Pete Townsend, my hero. All right,
Hmm.
Is he your hero, really?
Townsend, one of them. The Who are my band. Yeah.
Are they?
The Who.
Nice.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, no.
All right. So, any of you fans out there that had a good look at that, you know what the album is,
Mhm.
send us a message on either Facebook, YouTube, or send us an email
Mhm.
at what's our email again? It's Heikadelic 930
9:30.
Bottom of the screen.
930
gmail.com or
Hello.
live chat on Facebook and YouTube.
Kathy's
Kathy-
saying it's Peter Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Wow.
I love doing that. That's great. I love doing
You're going to wear your buzzer out tonight.
that. I love doing that.
Early
They're
Genesis.
all very-
No,
they're all
wait,
No, it's a
Early
solo
Genesis.
album.
Solo
Okay,
album.
that's
solo
what
album.
Kathy put. No, it is
Yeah.
solo, Kathy. So yeah,
Not early Genesis.
solo album. So who was in a group?
Yeah.
50s, 60s.
Yep.
That would be solo in the 70s.
Yeah.
See, now you know my process. That's how I do the elimination,
Oh,
Wow.
very good.
You're
and
good.
then you just guess from there.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, so I almost was going to do a John Lennon album today.
Were you? Ah,
I have all his albums. So,
yeah. Oh,
yeah. Just got to find one that's not too easy to spot, right?
Yep. yeah.
so want to say
Yeah.
hi to Murph out there, who's watching us on YouTube, I think,
Hey,
and
Murph.
and Kathy, of course, and then Keisha just joined us as well. Cheers, Keitha.
Woohoo!
Keisha.
Nice.
Hey, Keisha, how's your neighbors doing?
My God, I called her Keitha.
Keitha.
Keitha, what's up?
Yeah. Do they have the roofs back on their houses or what?
yeah, I know a good roofer.
Oh, right.
Uh-huh.
We can joke about it now, right? It is Barry.
course.
Like it's not like it's the first time it's ever happened.
No, last time was a long time ago. But what blows my mind is down in the U.S. you have Tornado Alley, where from what is it like September till whenever they have tornadoes, like lots.
Yeah.
And then you see these people that live in a trailer park, and they're getting interviewed by the news people, and they go, "Yeah, this is the 4th time they've taken out our trailer." Well, have you ever thought of moving? Like, come on.
Well, you know what you know, right? It's like
But geez,
you take some city guys and they don't like going in the country. Like they're like, I'm used to guns and blah blah blah. And man, I'm out here in a forest. Like you guys actually hang out in a forest at night. Like Jason's gonna come out and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, no, my bug out trailer. It's basically designed for one person, right? Like you can squeeze you in uncomfortably, but it's just that's what I'm doing. Like last year, I went out hunting and I went with a buddy of mine. Sam Scranch, who might be listening. Actually, his girlfriend listens to us every week. But anyway, so Sam Scranch, we were heading up to Northern Ontario to a place called...
What's Northern Ontario to somebody from Sudbury?
Well,
yeah.
Exactly.
Tomogamy.
No, honestly, like if you live up in Northern Ontario, you think of Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, North Bay, and all that. It's kind of like down here when we think of Scarborough and Ajax and all of that, because you're used to traveling long distances. I could not believe that. I worked for a big company one time, and some of the service people would complain because they had to leave their comfort zone of Toronto to go all the way up to Barrie or Parry Sound. Right. And it's like, oh, muffin, like I couldn't get it. Because when I lived in Sudbury, most of my clients were 4 to 5 hours away, the high paying ones anyway. And when you went there, they were just so grateful that new people would come out of town. Right. It's not that they wanted your DNA or anything, but they would invite you home. They would invite you home for dinner. Oh yeah, my best customers came from 4 or 5 hours away. So, but it's the nature of the beast. And I used to call the drives from Sudbury to Timmins the white knuckle drives because you're holding the steering so tight, right? And it was
there a moose.
Too late. Exactly. There'd be dead moose on the on the highway most nights. So
wow.
But, anyway, I digressed. I love it up there. But my point was, so Scranch. He blows a tire, so he can't get to the site we wanted to hunt at. So I'm in the back of, I don't even know. I'm miles and miles up a logging road.
Right.
It's so dark outside that you couldn't see your hand. Like when I got out of the truck, I couldn't see my hand. So here I am in the middle of absolutely nowhere. So I'm thinking, okay, if I don't have a cell connection, I should send my GPS coordinates to Scranch. So I sent them over. And anyway, so I stayed there all night, but I loved it. It was just something like I could have got, is Sasquatch going to come by? I really didn't know, but it was exciting. So
that's cool.
That's the redneck. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I understand it.
We never kill anything we don't eat.
Or make clothing out of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Hence the hats.
There are penetration points in the U.S. that if they were attacked, if you look at, well, what zone would you come through? So there's ones that are real, like sort of hillbilly territories, right? So
that's right.
Imagine getting attacked from overseas in those areas. All of a sudden, the military gets there like the next morning, and they see all these, just weapons and clothing everywhere, and all these barbecues and these rednecks out there saying, "We don't kill anything we don't eat." So I would be, if I was attacking from a different country or something, I'd be very leery of Our
Arkansas.
Yeah.
But
But
Well,
my sister lives there, so I've heard some stories. It's not a nice place. Like, it's still very old school,
oh yeah,
I guess is the way to put it.
well yeah. I mean, I won't go into detail, but there definitely is. I've got a
See
friend.
this patch of dirt? It was my pappy's, which was his pappy's, which was my grandpappy, and
Yeah.
you better not touch that dirt.
My pappy's buried before, just above his pappy.
Yeah.
And that pappy is buried above the other pappy, and you got to go at least 5 deep, and then they disintegrate. But
Is that why you hear like lines like "You can't get there from here"?
Yeah.
yeah,
You can't get there from here.
Yeah.
I got to experience that once. My buddy AJ used to live up here with us, and he moved down to Alabama to be with his dad when he was younger.
yeah,
And he still lives there. He's got his family and all that stuff. So we went down to see him to Alabama.
Yep.
And then what we did is we rented a condo in Panama City. So we drove from Alabama all the way down, right?
Yeah.
So instead of taking the highways and all that stuff, my buddy's like, I know all the back roads, right? So we're driving. It's kind of nice. It's scenic. We hit these little towns and stuff. And next thing you know, we're on a dirt road. And we're driving and driving and driving. And I'm looking at him and go, you still know where we're going? Oh, yeah. Just keep going, right? So we passed over a paved road, and we're still driving on this dirt road. And I go, you know what, buddy? This is stupid. You're lost. You don't know where you are. I'm going to turn the car around. I'm going to go back to that last paved road we drove over, and I'm going to start driving on that. So he's looking at me, and he's kind of like freaked out a little bit. He goes, no, just keep going. Don't turn around. Just keep going. I'm going, what's wrong with you? So I saw a driveway. I pull in the driveway, and I swear I was on TV. It was like the old house, with the door in the middle and the two little windows with the porch.
Yeah.
And the dog and the guy sitting on the porch.
Uh-oh.
And when we pulled in the driveway, they stood up.
what are y'all doing in my yard?
And I put that car in reverse, and I got on the road, and I just freaking give her, right? It's
Yeah.
like, holy crap, we're going to get shot, right?
Yeah.
It was just
Different
like
world.
TV.
Yeah.
And they're out in the middle of nowhere, and that's just how they live, right? And they're good with it.
Yeah. So, I ride a Harley. Doesn't matter what I ride, but I have a Harley, and I got to doing a lot of trips out to the Dragon's Tail, which is on the the Gap, and the Dragon's Tail has 118 turns in 11 U.S. miles. So anyway, there's a lot of people go up and never come back because it's very treacherous, and they're all switchbacks. And anyway, it's a really cool ride, and so you go to get there as a Canadian, you'll go down the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Yeah,
and
beautiful.
I come up into the Smoky Mountains. In 1814, I took a little trip. But what's amazing, we've all probably heard in movies about a place called Cherokee. And Cherokee is actually a dry town. So you just drive like 10 minutes out and get your booze and bring it back. But Cherokee, it's amazing because when you hear those old stories about, wars and, the Smoky Mountains and all this stuff,
Yep.
the echo is incredible. When you're down in Cherokee and you just sort of yell, you hear it, like the echo is just amazing. I've never heard anything like it. So you can imagine when they would have these civil wars and a lot of stuff going on, the cannon fire, gunfire from flints and all of that. It must have been just crazy.
Yeah.
But I'd go up there quite a lot and do this treacherous bike ride. So the when you're on your way, like on your way out of the Deals Gap, and you're heading now, I guess, east.
Okay.
You're in the foothills of Tennessee, and man,
Okay.
I'm telling you, talk about stepping back in time. I stopped. Well, I was with 9 of my other biker buddies, and we stopped for lunch, and they had a special on what the heck was it? Steak and gravy, and and what it was hamburger,
Yeah.
with gravy on it, and it tasted incredible, I gotta say. But going into this place, there were a couple of things. There were Polaroid shots of all these young kids with holding their first deer kill, right?
Oh wow.
Guys and girls, but when they come of age, when they can actually shoot a gun, that's their first thing. And it was just plastered with all these Polaroids. And then the
That's
neat thing
crazy.
was there's a lot of wasps up there, right? So they're just happen to be everywhere at that time of year. So what they do is they fill these bags, like these little, not the Ziploc bags, but the old sandwich bags, and then they twist them, and they're full of water, and they'd hang them. So apparently, if a wasp comes and it sees its own image enlarged,
Yeah.
it won't come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's scared.
and they're hanging everywhere, and I had no idea they were for wasps, and I'm thinking, like, what else is going to be hanging when I, walk around the corner or go inside, and what are these, this sort of steak and gravy? What's that made out of? But no, they couldn't. They were, yeah, no, they were super nice people, and man, I'll tell you, we walked out of there very full. It was a great trip. But yeah, you're stepping back in time, and apparently, in the outback, there's a lot of people who just, are so deep into the forest and all of that they barely come out, right? I mean, they don't have cable out there. So
No.
Yeah.
But when you do go down there, and I experience this as well, and you tell them you're from Canada, oh my God, you're treated like freaking royalty.
yeah, absolutely.
It's unbelievable. Total freaking strangers, friends of friends, blah blah, whatever. Come for dinner, stay at the house, whatever. It's wild. It's so cool.
Now, you guys, do you ride, George, at all? Do you ride a motorcycle?
No.
No. Okay. Well, sorry, I'm going to leave you out of this question then. Okay, you two both being experienced riders, right? You've done it for a few years. Have you ever rode the Rocky Mountains? I've drove it, and now I was like, man, I want to get my license just to ride it. Like, I've dirt biked my whole life.
Our Rocky Mountains in Canada.
Our Rocky Mountains, Calgary. Yeah.
I've been up in
Alberta. Sorry.
There's the main Trans-Canada Highway, which is Highway 1.
Yep.
And in Alberta, they have Highway 1A. And that's the one that's up on the mountains. It's just a guardrail on one side, and it goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a friend who, like, we went and had lunch above the clouds and everything. Right? Like, I have a friend who runs a lodge up there.
Okay.
And, yeah, so we went up and literally, like, we were sitting on top of a mountain, out like a chalet, and the clouds are 500 to 1,000 feet below us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And then they opened up. Oh, what was that? I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm trying to think of the name. Oh, Canmore or something that it opened up and you could see. Beautiful little scenic town. Anyways, I will try and figure that out by the end of the show. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. The Rockies. I've been to Vancouver and Alberta, like the West Coast, many times. Never with my bike. I did experience. I was up having lunch at Grouse Mountain Resort one day with a buddy of mine. We just decided to go up, and there were the clouds were literally just beneath us, which is kind of cool. It's a great experience, but the ride I was talking about to the Deals Gap, when you're on the Blue Ridge Mountain, you are in a mountain range for days, in fact. So you're riding amongst the mountains. There was one point, I don't know, I keep calling it the Devil's Armpit, but you're actually 6,000 to 7,000 feet above sea level riding, and this armpit thing or whatever. It's almost like a spiral up a mountain. But anywhere in the Blue Ridge, when you start to get into the heavy mountain ranges, there's all these points where, they don't have guardrails everywhere. And if you miss a turn, like a 90-degree or a 180 switchback, you're gonna go and drop about 2,000 feet through the clouds and to a rocky death, right? So,
Nice.
yeah, it's great. And then we call them zombie deer. They come out at dusk on the Blue Ridge. So the recommendation by all the state troopers is stay off the Blue Ridge at dusk. And he's absolutely right. I was up with a buddy of mine, Big T, we called him, and he had a brand new Screaming Eagle Harley and totaled it. Deer jumped in front of him, and we had to leave him in like a Jacksonville hospital at foothills of Tennessee. So, it's
Nice.
I would go. I've been done that run about 8 times, and every time I go, I would kind of like, just get my affairs in order before I left. Seriously, you don't know if I was riding behind a guy on the Dragon's Tail, and he was on a street bike, and he hit a rock face on a 90 turn, and launched himself so high, he hit there was moss and everything growing up the side of the rock face, and he hit it flat, and his bike hit just down below him, so it threw him from the bike. He was okay, but
how do you hit a rock
So
face?
he
when you're on the road?
high-ended?
Yeah, so it was a 90 turn, right? So it kind of went like that. But at the back of the 90 was a complete flat rock face. Okay.
So what was he just going too fast and went off the road?
He wasn't paying attention.
Oh my God.
He had this lime green outfit, and I think he was more concerned about what people thought of him. And he was literally looking the other way as he was gearing up to, like, I think he was probably 3rd gear. So he was going like way over. He was booking about maybe 120, and he hit the side. There was no guardrail, so he hit it, and there was a bit of a little bit of a ramp in the ditch part, and it just launched him in the bike, right? So he was fine, but it's a pretty treacherous place. And then what happens at about 4 o'clock? People want you off. They want the bikes off the tail, because the drift cars come in at 4. So we went around this lake, and we were farting around and came back, and it was about 5:30, and we had to cross do the whole thing again, and but backwards. So, oh my! So these drift cars are, I mean, like maybe a foot from my boot. The cars kind of drifting by, and it was terrifying. But
700 horsepower in a little Nissan, and
that's a little messed up. And I even heard you have guys on cruisers just enjoying the scenery, doing all the turns and loving the road, and then you got maniacs on freaking crotch rockets trying to see how fast they could do it. It gets stupid, right?
Yeah, it really does, and it they're not thinking about
other people.
Well, they're not thinking about anything, right?
Not at all.
See, I would be that guy on the crotch rocket. That's why I know I can't own a crotch rocket, and I stick to my dirt bikes. The first time I was ever on a crotch rocket, I had to do in 260.
Well, I mean, I had an interest in getting one, but I always felt I was too fat because of the way the body.
Katana.
Yeah,
I sat on one once, and I didn't know where to put my belly, and I'm like, how do guys get on these things?
Exactly, and it's like
you ride them for 20 minutes, and you're hurting. You got to get off, right?
Yeah,
get something comfortable.
But I've since tried a few out, and it's now. But of course, I was like a lot heavier back then, but they're more comfortable. I'm kind of like a bit of an adrenaline junkie, from the past, and I feel like I've got a little BMW, but it's like it's an X-Drive competition. So all the time I'm pulling up the lights, and then these kids will pull up in a souped up car and they want to race, right? But I don't bother with it. And but yeah, I definitely, I'm not gonna lie, I'm tempted, right?
Hey Ringo, I know you got a BMW and everything, but I want to know about the moped.
Yeah, your son. Hey, buddy. So he had to change his account because of the witness protection program or something. But so yeah. Anyway, so moped. Yeah. So I had, oh gosh, I've had pretty much anything with a motor in it. But I used to have a couple of mopeds, a Honda, and but the cool one was a Caddy, Cady, not Kathy. You know, but yeah, not even gonna go there. But
Yeah.
so
I was leaving that one.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, she might have left. She probably didn't hear that. But it's they're really cool because today they got those e-bikes, right, with the pedals and everything. So back then they were gas bikes with pedals. But they could really go. They had a lot of pep, and then Honda put out one that was a little more, a bit faster and stuff. So, but again, a lot of fun. And yeah, so Ruth's telling
Hey, George, did you get any emails yet on your backside?
No, I'm just looking. But just going back to I wasn't a biker. I've not been to the Blue Ridge Mountains or anything like that. But
have you?
I haven't done it. But I have looked down, and the clouds have been below me.
Yeah,
many times in Toronto.
When you're in an airplane.
Oh
no!
You can see a tower.
Yeah, and you get the Bank of Montreal building coming through the clouds, and the TD Tower coming through the. It was one of the fantastic sights when that happened. It's just all around you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's amazing how far you can see, eh? We used to go up there when we were in our 20s. I think it was called the 360 or something then.
The restaurant.
And we used to go up there. And
then it was. I don't know. Originally, it was called the Top of Toronto, the restaurant. Then it became the 360.
Yeah.
Early 90s. Yeah.
Back when it was still affordable.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's I think the last time I went there was maybe about 4 years ago or something, and it's still an incredible experience, I think, because you got the glass deck and all that. I'm definitely not going on the outside with the safety harness and hanging on the side.
That's what I want to do.
Good for you.
Well, I actually got security took me one time to the in the elevator because they have service doors at the back. I mean, you can get out at different levels and just look down, and there's all these cables and everything flying up. But they took me onto the roof of the actual CN Tower just because it was a slow night.
Yeah.
George, you want to just put something on that lasts about 20 minutes? Right, we'll take you to the top. Right, so they took me up there, and I was stood on the top of the big, the top of the pod, and there was nothing there. There was like gravel on the roof and what have you, and there's about a wire, a little wire like running around. It was about 12 inches high. That was it.
Yeah, don't trip over
it. George, have a look over there. It's really windy.
That's add insult to injury. If you walk to the edge and you trip over the wire, there you go.
Yeah, it was a thrill actually. It was
I bet
very, very scary, but absolutely fantastic. Just stand there about 3 feet and just like, ooh.
Were you around when they let the guy base jump off of it?
That was just before, I think. That was just before. Yeah. Was it during? I can't remember.
It wasn't finished yet, was it? When he jumped?
No, it was finished.
Was it finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually, a guy that I grew up with out here, his dad was the one who put the final light bulb in.
Wow.
At the peak of the tower.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice. He's got a picture of him actually putting it in.
Yeah. I mean, I've not been there for years. Well, actually, I was there, about 4 years ago, I think. But I went to the aquarium, Ripley's.
Right.
And I just thought, what's the tower like? Oh, come on. They have those puffer things and the security that you have to go through now. I mean, people just used to walk out off Front Street, boom, and that was it. There was, from the other side, now was like, oh my goodness, can't believe it. You know, I thought I'm not going up. You know, what I mean, I can't imagine what other disappointments will be there. But one of my favourite memories of working at the tower was one Indie Week. I think it was '92, and me and the night manager Marwan, we had this brilliant idea because we like Formula One, Indy racing, and all the rest of it.
Right.
To do our own Indie Fest, we had to call it something else, and we're going to do something every night of the week. Right, and we got race cars and everything up there. Well, not so much race cars. They were at the bottom of the tower. They'd be at the base. You know, there'd be like NASCARs and all kinds of stuff. We got in touch with like oil companies, Shell, you name them, beer companies, Budweiser Racing, all the rest of it. And I got in touch with Valvoline, and I said, like, we're doing this, blah blah blah. I said, oh great, and somebody called me up from. I can't remember the name of the racing team at the time, but it was Alonso Jr.'s racing team. And he'd won the Indianapolis 500 in that car that had the Valvoline logos on it and everything, right?
Right.
So they said, yeah, we're going to bring that car to the tower. I thought, great, fantastic. I said, but we can only bring it there. And he said, our only spot to bring it is like on a Monday afternoon between 1 and 5, because then we have to take it onto King Street or whatever. So, doesn't matter. I'll arrange it. I'll sort it all out with the powers that be, and then I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
So I roll up there, and 12:30, whatever time, half an hour before they're due to bring this car. But they were already getting there, and there was this massive big trailer with Valvoline, the big trailer,
right.
Onto where everyone has a little drink at the bottom of the tower. Yeah. And people are scattering it. It's huge, right? And they wheeled it, and they just left it there and wheeled Alonso's car, down there, and the guy stayed with it and everything. And no one was allowed in it. No one was, they couldn't get in it. But of course. But Marwan actually got in it. But I tried to get in it. I couldn't, and I was a lot slimmer then too. I could not get into that whatsoever.
Well, you got the
made for him, right?
The cage and all that stuff. It's so hard, right?
Again, yeah, but we had slot car racing some nights. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Do you remember when they put the antenna on the tower?
I wasn't here then. No.
They had a big celebration and stuff like that because the tower was done, and the last thing they were lifting the antenna up with a helicopter, and they had it on the ground.
The Russian helicopter, the Sikorsky. Yeah. Yes.
And people could come and sign it. So my name is on that.
Yes. Oh, is it?
Yep. Yeah. I got to sign it, and
do you think
it's probably not there anymore? But
I was going to say, do you think they put urethane or something on it to cover it?
No, it was all painted, and we all got markers, and we got to write our names on with markers.
Yeah, so, the sun would have taken care of that. My pot plants proved that this year.
Well, my name's on the inside, not on the outside.
All right.
So it would still be there then, yeah.
It's maybe.
In other news, Kathy's saying something about me talking about all of her fish. So I understand she has 300 fish tanks or something. So,
Kathy has 300 fish tanks?
No, she has I don't know, like about 18 or something. And
well, 18 to 300, that's a big difference.
I don't know. Like you lose track after one fish tank, but like she's got a lot of fish.
That's a lot of time. Like I had a 100-gallon fish tank, and I spent a lot of time working on that. I couldn't imagine having 18 fish tanks. So is this the precursor to the cat lady? Like this is what happens next, or what?
Yeah,
the crazy fish lady.
Yeah. That's funny because I bought 2 big fish tanks, and then the next thing you know, you got to get another one, but little ones. So I had 9 once. So 18's, I could see why.
Yeah, but is that
you get into breeding, right?
Fish? Oh, okay.
No, you get into breeding.
Yeah.
And you have to bring them out, put them in smaller tanks, and then you can grow them up to a good size and sell them, right?
$2 or $3 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't really keep fish alive because it's usually I want to go out and catch the bigger ones and eat them.
Well, I like fish tanks, so if they're anywhere around they got fish in them, I'd love to come and see them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if you got a tank for sale,
I'm looking
to get another one.
Now, Now, I don't know much about fish. I just had one little shot at it for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
The tanks, they will dry out, will they not? Like the silicone, and then you gotta redo it.
It takes a long time. You can easily get 15 years out of a fish tank from new.
Wow.
As long
Yep.
as you keep it wet. Because if
Yeah,
it's dry, it's going to dry out, right? If
it
there's
will
no
it will
moisture.
dry out, but as long as the tank's in use, you can get 15 years out of them easy. And that's what I did with my tanks. I would after 12 years, something like that. I wouldn't completely separate the glass. There's no need to, but I would cut the glass out of the silicone out of the corners on the inside,
Yeah.
and I would recock it.
Recock.
And do that
Yeah.
at the bottom as well.
Yeah, all the corners, all
Right.
4 sides and all 4 corners, right on the bottom.
I remember my uncle having this house, and it was like it's called a Viceroy, so it was all like
Yep.
pine inside and everything. But he had it's one of the only times I've ever seen it, a spiral staircase, like an iron staircase, and along
Right.
the staircase as you were coming down, the entire wall was a fish tank. Amazing.
Wow.
Just it was huge. It was just crazy. But they weren't the most tidy people when it came to cleaning it, because it was a novelty for a while, and then they just
Sure.
everything.
No, they need upkeep.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know if Derek would know this before his time, but I don't know. I don't know if any of you guys would remember. But Keith Moon, back in the 70s, he had fish in his drum set.
Yes. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen pictures of that.
Like goldfish or whatever. So
Yeah.
what kind of fish did you keep in these tanks, Heiko? What kind of fish are in there?
I was so into African cichlids because of the color.
Right.
They're absolute gorgeous fish to look at.
Mm.
The only problem is they're super, super aggressive.
Right.
And, if you don't know what you're doing, you buy fish and put them in your tank, and the other fish will gang up on them and kill them. And you just spent $80 on a couple of fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had to be very careful as to what you bought and how you introduce them into the tank.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had one big tank with those, and then I had another tank with the South African cichlids, which are not quite as colorful until they get really big.
Mm-hmm.
Like the African cichlids would get 3-4 inches long, and the South American ones could get up like 8 or 9 inches long. That's the difference.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And they're not as aggressive. They get bigger. There's two totally different things, but I loved having fish.
Yeah.
Now, are they a saltwater or is that regular?
No, it's all freshwater.
Sorry, I got to remember the lean.
Yeah.
You figured that out too. It's like
No, it's good. So it's all freshwater, right?
Yeah.
A lot easier to maintain, a lot easier to have, a lot cheaper to buy. Once you get into saltwater, that's a whole different animal, right?
It is, yeah.
And you can buy saltwater fish and just keep fish, and you can buy all the funky ornaments and stuff to put in it.
Yeah.
Or what you could do is you could really be a superstar and you get live coral.
Mm-hmm.
Now you spend a lot of money, you buy it by the pound, right? You buy these rocks that have stuff growing on them, and you build a wall of live coral, and that's your main attraction. You throw a couple of fish in for fun, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
But if something goes wrong, it's devastating, right?
Can I get political for a second?
No.
Yeah, okay, let's do it. We haven't done that in a
You
while.
have to.
Okay, so no, I just kind
From
of
fish to
red.
politics.
no, you know
What the
what?
hell?
I saw this little blurb where Singh was getting interviewed. Pretty tough interview, it looked like, by someone, and I didn't catch, so my facts are probably not the greatest at the moment. But I just stopped and I'm watching and I'm talk and I'm thinking, I'm not a supporter. I'll leave it at that. I have other words, but I'm not a supporter, and because I really think sitting in the background, it's obvious now, like there's a lot of finger pointing and stuff regarding the whole COVID, but my belief is that all conspiracies aside, that if there were no conspiracies and this was a real pandemic, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying that out of respect for the non-vaxxers who believe otherwise, but take that, push it all aside. The thing is, they reacted. Whether it was the best way to handle things, who knows, right? I don't really know any other way that things could have been handled, but I did not. I'm watching this thing and I'm like, oh, did exactly what I thought he would do, and
Yep.
just wait in the bushes politically until all the heat was on the present government, and which, you know what, hey, it's now I guess they're trying to really now push a vote, right?
Well, that's what I was going to say. What do you guys think of vote 2 years before it's supposed to happen? Like,
Yeah, I think that's BS.
it's a
Well, I
bunch of
think
bullshit.
because
It
right
shouldn't even
now
be-
he's trying to buy his votes, obviously.
yeah, he's on a bit of an upslope, and he's going, "Oh, I'm not going to make it 2 years from now, so let's do it now." Like, come on,
I don't know.
politics. This is
All I
why
have
we
to
can't
say-
talk about politics.
Well, my easiest way to sum up the whole thing, whether you're orange, whether you're red, or whether you're blue, they're all connected
All
to the
green. All
same.
green. Don't forget
Or
the
green,
green.
yes, the Green Party. Sorry,
Yeah,
you're all connected to the same wheel,
right.
right?
Yeah, and it's just
It's just how you're gonna get taken.
and it is
Politics. That's what politics is, though. It's
for-
taking
for
advantage
that,
of the situation.
I'm going to open this right now.
the idea.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Come on, George. Oh, I can't open it. All right,
You
I
can't
get
open
another
it.
one.
That's the wrong answer.
Okay, so
Sorry.
Okay.
who I'm still trying to figure out who went solo. 72.
We'll find out shortly.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, the politics, to me, I have a few years. I was thinking about this the other day, and I thought, like, well, I've got 20 odd years on Derek, and slightly less on like Heiko and Johnny. But I'm thinking, like, in '69, I was just turned 17, and Woodstock happened, right? And we were going to change the world.
I thought you just
90. We're going to change the world. We go anti-this, anti-government. We're going to change it. It's all going to bloody change. And I'm right there.
Oh, yeah.
I got my first vote when I turned 18. Like, they just changed it in England from 21 in 1970 when I became 18. And I voted a certain way. And I've never voted that way since. But it was because they promised they were going to legalize the pirate radio stations.
Oh, yeah.
And all that stuff,
Yeah.
right? So that's what I want to do, right? So I voted for him, never voted for him since. But when I look back on it now, that's what Woodstock was 52 years ago now.
Yeah.
And nothing's changed. In fact, if anything, it's got worse.
I wish
Shout
I
and
know what
scream.
happened.
You can shout and scream. We can spend all night here. And it'll just, nothing's going to change. That to me, and I'm at that point now, I go, I can't be bothered anymore. It's not that I don't, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like, it really is a waste of time sometimes,
Well, and you know what? I have a good example of that. Here in Canada, we are laid back people. When things go shitty, we like to complain over a couple of beers to our friends or whatever, but we don't do anything about it, right? And that is the reason why, you can complain and complain and complain and talk about whatever you want. Nothing ever happens because it doesn't go anywhere, right? It just gets. We can sit here on the air and talk about stuff and bitch all we want. Nothing's going to ever happen until something gets done about it. Yeah. And the best example I saw was about 12 years ago. The Chinese government was raising tuition fees for all the colleges and universities in the countries, or in their country, and all the students together as one walked out of school.
Wow.
It's also a communist country.
Yeah, but still, they did that. Yeah. They walked out of school, all of the kids. And they said, we don't want anything different. We just want it the way it was. Don't change it. And within 3 days, the government said, okay, and everybody went back to school. Yeah. But see, they stood up for themselves as a country. We can't do that here.
But
we don't know how.
Do you know why that is? Why I think it is anyways? because
that?
we have all these creature comforts, like the lights on in my house right now, and
Yep.
I drive a fairly nice car. It's a pretty big bill I got to pay there. I have insurance to pay. I've got property tax to pay. I'm giving 42% of my earnings to the government.
Yep.
And I like the things that I have.
That's right.
So if I want to keep the things that I have, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go to work.
Yeah. Creature
I can't.
comforts, right?
Right. If we all just said screw it, I'm gonna live off fish and pine nuts from the forest.
Yep.
We could do it, right? It's true,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
too many
Well,
people
there's a
like what we have.
perfect thing too is when gas goes up, everyone goes, "Oh my God, the price of gas is $1.40 a liter." Blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. What can we do about it? Well, it's really simple. And again, people have to make sacrifices to do it. If nobody in the province buys gas for 3 days,
Yep.
they have to do something because they're going to go tits up,
But you,
Yep.
right? 3 days. That's
you-
all it takes.
but you could use resources like change.org, which I think is getting saturated with a lot of bullshit. You
Yeah.
for really good causes, and Heiko, you're hitting on something that sort of band together. And Derek, you're right. I mean, look at like the tiny home movement and all of that. Like the townships are actually, if you build a tiny home, you need a permit, you need approvals to sit it on a piece of land. It's like that's not happening because my
Yep.
shit's going underground. I really don't. The less they know, the better. Honestly,
Mhm.
not
Yep.
advocating. I'm just going to do what I want to do. But you're right. There needs to be. I'm sure. Like I'm finding out now that this whole COVID thing and all, like, it's amazing when you talk about conspiracy theories, how many different ones there are out there. And when you listen to the advocates or the supporters of, some of these theories, it starts to make sense,
Yep.
but then,
But- yeah.
but it's everything from government corruption to now they're releasing stuff about aliens and where there's a master plan, so it's really tough to kind of navigate through that because, a lot of influential people are talking the same language. So there's definitely groups happening, but here's the scarier part, or is that even a word? But I mentioned this a few times on Netflix. There was a program, I don't know if it's on now, it's called The Social Dilemma, and they talked about I probably can't say the word because it'll be a trigger and we'll get shut down, but like social media, like the one we're on or all the ones we're on, okay, we know, like we've been saying this for years, that I talk about something and all of a sudden I'll get the products coming up on my phone, so they're always listening, right?
Mhm.
And then that turns into your what's put in front of you, and not just social media but anywhere, Google, your search engines, all of a sudden it's tailored to you. But the biggest fear behind that, and if you watch Social Dilemma, I think it's a brilliant documentary. The net result after interviewing a lot of executives from various companies is what will result in this sort of reprogramming of society is civil war.
Yeah.
Right? And we've seen evidence of that. Especially the Trump nation and all of that stuff. It was getting really bad for a while, right?
Yeah.
And there's definitely a divide. I'm sure there's a lot of groups doing things behind the scenes, not just the U.S.
George Soros.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch that thing I sent you on Messenger? Did any of you guys watch that? It was long. It was 53 minutes long, but it tells you what's going on out there.
Well, there's lots of stuff. Like I thoroughly believe that we are what we're doing has nothing to do with actually what's going on in the world. Whatever's
No.
going on in the world was planned years ago, hundreds
Yes, it
of
was.
years ago.
Yes, it was.
Right? We are literally just pawns making tax money,
Yep.
collecting gold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And 90% of these conspiracy theories that you hear about, you're finding out later on that most of them are true.
Yes.
Chemtrails. I remember chemtrails. I was into chemtrails years and years ago.
They talked about that in high school, for Pete's sake.
Right. And everybody's like, oh, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake.
Blah, blah, blah.
911, the Northwood
Yep.
Project. It was written out. They have it here. Everything that 911 was. It is all written out. And people are like, no, why would your government do that? If your government really cared about you, would we have starving kids? Would we have, drugs being flooded into communities? We wouldn't. It just wouldn't. The government does not care about you. The government cares about money. Anyways, we're not supposed to talk about this stuff because
No, because we just go, wow.
So
Yeah.
guys, let's switch gears for a minute. I wanted to just share something with everyone here.
Okay.
Let's see here.
just in case if anybody's wondering, I am one of those conspiracy nuts that
Okay.
people talk about.
Why we love you. So, just bringing attention here
Oh,
to
there he is.
our guest on the 23rd,
Oh,
Darren,
Oh, yeah.
Darren Frost.
and he's a brilliant comedian.
Yes.
He works all over the place, but he's basic. Well, this is what Bing says. But yeah, he was born in Brantford, and he's an actor and a stand-up. So I had the pleasure of with I think it was being him.
Sorry, I was reading that there. He was he's known for what? Lewd and I was trying to
Here's his the official Darren Frost
He's-
tour.
Yeah. He's I like his character because when he's on stage, he's angry, right? He's
All right.
he's just mad.
Yeah, give us a little snippet.
Right? 2 weeks later,
Can
you
you
know what
guys
happened
hear
to me?
that?
I got
Yep.
kidney stones. Yeah. By applause. Anyone in the crowd had kidney stones? Anyone? Yeah, hear that fucking slow clap of death? Fuck me. Fuck. Any ladies in the crowd that's a mother that had kidney stones? Anyone here? No.
So
The reason I ask is many people don't realize how painful kidney stones is. Top 10 most painful thing you can ever have done to your body. Far worse.
So
Yeah.
we'll leave it at that. But he's definitely an amazing. Oh, sorry guys, my LZ is up
Oh,
there.
get that plug in. Get that.
Yeah, sure. Free advertisement.
There you go. Yeah.
No, he's a great comedian. He's a lot of fun. You will laugh your guts out. It's just he's a little on the wild side, a little whatever. It's language.
Funny.
You know what? I don't understand why people get upset about the F word and this word and that word and that word. They're all in the bloody dictionary now.
And
5 and 6 year olds say the word, so who gives a shit, right?
yeah, I mean,
Enjoy it.
yeah, we got, we're on different formats, so we were asked to kind of tone it down, but kind of free speech, and we do put our disclaimer up that this
Well,
is
and we are warning people now
yeah.
that on that Monday night, there's going to be a couple of words flying around. So you know what?
Yeah,
If you're sitting at the breakfast table, don't put it on so your kids can hear it.
that's an interesting fact because I guess we are global to some extent.
Yeah,
so we don't
absolutely.
are on at breakfast or in the evening, but yeah, his act is really funny.
Yep.
And, I'm really more interested. We never know if we have a comedian on if they're gonna perform for us or certainly when we had Big Daddy Red.
He just chatted with us. That was it.
Well,
right?
no.
No, he swallowed
Red
swords.
was the sword swallow.
Oh, that guy. Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, I thought you meant the other comedian that we had on.
It was just an
Jeremy Yanich.
Yeah, Jeremy.
like Jeremy just talked about the craft and all of that, and that was good. With Darren, yeah, he is funny. I really can't see him not getting into something, but I'm very interested in like his style and how he came about being a comedian and all of that. So hearing that story is pretty neat, because comedy, I would love to do stand up. That's one of my bucket list things. But I don't really, it's funny because I really don't have a lot of, shame, and I got a lot of pride, obviously, but I really don't give a rat's ass what people think sometimes. And that's what sometimes.
Well, I think the show might be really good because when I saw Darren live, he loves the front row people.
Oh yeah.
He's got 4 guys right in front of him here, us 4, right? So I'm really hoping he gets into it and he starts nailing us on stuff, because he is.
I'm a front row guy
so,
too.
Yeah, I am too. I love getting up front, right?
Oh, yeah. It's like and George, you might want to be careful because he likes quiet ones, and if he dubs any of us fucky, then that's
what he does.
I'll tell this story here, all right? I mean, we had a guy in England who's very similar to that, called Bernard Manning. He's exactly the same kind of act. But I used to do this particular venue, Aussies, and Phil was always looking. The owner was always looking for things to do. He tried male strippers. I think I told you about all that. But then he also did this. I mean, he died a few years ago. But there's this Manchester comedian called Frank Lamar, and it was a drag act. He called himself Fufu Lamar, right? And he had his own club called Fufu's Palace and all this. So anyway, Phil Osborne had this great idea. He said, we're going to book Fufu in between 9 and 10 to pack the place, and then and then they'll stay for the rest of the night. So I remember that, and I thought, Fufu is going to be interesting. I'm in the DJ booth, right? And he had this little stage riser for him, like that he could come out onto the floor with. And I'm sat there in the DJ booth, like minding my own business, right? Thinking, enjoying his act. And he looked at me a few times, like he kind of looks over, and he's all in the gear, right? He's got the big wig on and the sequin dress on. And it was just a minute. He said, I'm just looking at that. Is that the DJ? Well, I actually knew that because I'd introduced him, right? And he said, and my hair was longer and everything. He goes, it's Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is your DJ. He said, you lucky bastards, or something like that. She said, come here. I'm like, oh, Jesus, no. You know what I mean? I don't want to do it. So he dragged me out. He had me doing press-ups, all kinds of stuff, right? So I thought, there's pictures. I've got like Polaroid shots, actually. A Polaroid shot that survived, but, of all things. But I thought, it was just one of those nights. It was great fun, but it was rather embarrassing, right? I can't remember what everything else did. But so anyway, about 3 months later, Phil goes, George, I said, I've booked Fufu again for such and such a Thursday night. And I'm, shit, right? I know I'm going to get it again.
Oh, yeah.
So
same DJ.
I introduced him, like, from the DJ booth, like across there. It wasn't very far. And I go, tonight, welcome. We're great, to have Fufu Lamar back at Aussies. And I play his intros and everything. And I just like sank into the DJ. I literally sat on the floor, right? And I'm thinking I'm not going to show myself. He probably thinks I've gone to the bar or something like that. I'm just not going to be visible. Anyway, he's like going through his acts and he looks over, obviously. He goes, where's Jesus Christ gone? Right. Yeah. And he goes, where's he? And they're all like, hey, George, yeah, he's down there. He's on the floor. Do you want him? I'm like,
he's hiding.
I had to get up, and it was like, and again, he did his routine. I thought, why me? Why are you picking up me? You know what I mean? I gave him a great intro.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone. You know what I mean?
Well, try not to hide when Darren's on, because within the first 10 minutes that he's on the show, he picks somebody out. He finds somebody.
Yeah.
And like Ringo said, he calls that guy Fucky. That's his guy.
Yeah. Hey, George,
Yeah.
Seeing that you're under the table already, and Ringo broke his headset.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I was laughing so hard, I look at
Well, just the one I always remember Bernard Manning did. I told you about that guy. He was a front row guy too, right?
yeah.
You know, someone would go to the washroom, right? And he'd see him, he'd clap them, right? Like,
Oh yeah, just nail him. Where are you going?
so he'd wait till it'd been, right? And then he'd come back and hey, oi. He said, like, where have you been? He went, "Oh, just been to the bathroom," like that.
Yeah.
So he walked out in the middle of my act, like that. He said, "Could you hear us in there?" And they go, "No, not really." He went, "We could hear you, you know." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no that kind of stuff. So anyone that went he had his own club called the Embassy Club. It was just like, if you went there and he sat anywhere near the front when he was on, he had all these acts on, but he'd do all the comedy in between. And he'd be like, "Oh, Bernard, you know, Bernard got us again." So, yeah, you know, been picked on a couple of times.
That's cool. I remember.
I have one of those faces. I can't help it.
I saw Howie Mandel,
Yeah.
and it was a big audience, and some guy, no, it was a woman. Some woman got up to go to the bathroom, and so he called her out as she was heading up the aisle, right? And started asking her stuff. Where are you going? What are you doing? You know, you sure you don't want a friend to go with you? All this kind of stuff. He's just banging on her, right?
Yeah,
and finally she goes, and she's out of sight. And he goes to everybody, "Okay, she's gone. Okay, everybody hide." You know, that kind of stuff, right? So it was fun. Yeah. So I think we're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
So Heiko,
So George,
yeah,
we need to know what your backside was.
Okay, give us a clue here. You haven't given us a clue besides it's 72 and he used to be in a band. Is it a guy?
It's a guy. It's this guy.
Okay.
Yeah. That's his wife.
Yeah.
He formed another band about 3-4 years after. No, maybe a couple of years after this. And his wife was in the band, his new band, playing keyboards.
Playing keyboards. I was going to say Fleetwood Mac, but
do the lips?
Is it? Mick Fleetwood.
Mick Fleetwood.
No. Oh, okay. Is it Leslie or whatever his name? I can't remember the other guy. What was he?
Lindsay Buckingham.
No, he's British, this guy. So unfortunately, I have to give you the buzzer.
Kathy.
Okay, do the lips? Do the lips or the bug have anything to do with it?
Did someone have a guess? Then did you have a guess?
Yeah, Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
Oh,
Kathy.
Good job, Kathy.
Holy
Ram. Hey, do you know why sheep farmers have wear rubber boots?
Oh God.
So the sheep can't get away.
Holy crap!
Oh.
Hey, do ducks have ears?
No.
No? Well, of course they do. How do you think they hear other ducks?
Very good. Very good.
All right. Well, it is 11 o'clock.
That's time.
After that one. Yeah.
That time.
Yeah. We're getting
Wow,
to the
guys.
bottom about good quality.
Wow. I can't believe it's 11 already.
That went fast.
I know. It just blew by.
Yeah. I have a mystery voice here that I've had for weeks somewhere.
Oh, somewhere. So it's not right there.
Oh yeah, it's right here. Hang on.
It's right there. Okay,
Yeah,
let's do it quick. Come on.
See if we can get it. Hang on.
Let's try and guess it.
feet and it's on 5 screens.
All right. Hang on. That's good.
You know, it's playing on about 1,000 screens, so it's not like everywhere.
That's
like you can't
Junior.
walk 2 feet and it's on 5 screens. And people are like, fuck, man, it's like 15-minute drive from my house. I was like, I would literally drive for 5 hours as a kid if there was a movie I wanted to see. It didn't matter.
Sounds like Rob Zombie.
So one time I rode, before I could drive, I rode my bike for like 3 hours to see my movie.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice job, buddy.
Good job. You're on fire. Yeah. Good guess.
There you go. Wow.
Hey, Murph, if you're still out there, give me a buzz, bud.
Oh, look,
Buzz
Kathy
Bud?
says she can't believe she beat Derek to the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But when he said John Lennon earlier, I thought, ooh,
Yeah.
oh,
That's
so
so
close.
close.
Oh, yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
I'm still listening, but obviously. Oh,
See, well, who wouldn't? Just quality entertainment on a Monday night. Where else would you get this?
where would you get that?
I mean, come on, you know.
Yes. So, yeah, I guess we can bring it home because I'm at the
Yeah.
studio, so I got a bit of a drive anyway.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin.
A bit of a drive.
Me that the sin.
Well, Derek's already done the driving part. He's where he's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm about, I don't know, maybe half hour.
Oh, that's not that bad.
That's nothing, that.
The longer you wait, the better the traffic will be.
Exactly.
Yeah, no kidding. Woo-hoo.
I can blow right through here, but yeah, I usually
Drop into the Royal on the way home.
No.
No.
No, that was a quick answer.
That was a hard no.
That was hard. No, the Royal, I understand, is a Deneville repute. No,
Yeah,
what? Everybody's got a job.
no kidding.
All right.
So,
Well, I never got to say what I did yesterday. Now it's the end of the freaking show.
Go on then.
I happened to go down to Danny's restaurant, Country Stop Burgers, Sunday night when he had the classic cars there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's something I think we should try and do somehow together. You know, it's a lot of guys show up. There was even a guy. This is a diehard. Okay, the guy drove his truck with a trailer with his car on the back because the car is not road legal. It's a drag car.
Mhm.
And he unloaded his car in front of the restaurant and came in the parking lot, did a couple of burnouts, and same on the way back out.
Yeah.
Like, pretty cool for a guy to do that, just to come over there and hang out, listen to some music, and have some good food.
yeah, and that's for vehicles that they'll never become street legal, right?
No, it's a strict drag
Those
car.
are called test launches.
Yeah.
Oshawa
Yeah.
has a pretty good car show now once a year, and it's well attended.
Yep.
And yeah, a few people would bring in their trailers and these wicked cars, but drags and all that. But yeah, you can't. You got to trailer those.
Yeah, and I got to go down in a classic Mercedes convertible.
Oh yeah.
That was really, really cool. Had a really nice drive.
Nice.
Yep. So yeah, we got to do that one day. We'll have to go check out the classic cars, get some good food. Danny's got some new sandwiches down there too. Do you guys like? It's not a Reuben. What's the other one called? Something like that.
Like a Montreal smoked meat.
No, not that. It's hang on.
Corned
It
beef.
slipped my mind right. Corned beef. You guys like corned beef sandwiches?
Yeah, corned beef on
He's got a jacked up corned beef sandwich. Oh my god.
Well, corned beef here is different from what I was used to as corned beef in the UK. It's different.
Why do they have like corn and salami on a bun or something, or what?
No, it's just a different. It's just different. It's just like it's just when the first time I ordered a corned beef sandwich, I thought, well, for a start, it's the wrong color. It's like pink. It's like
it's pink. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that's not corned beef.
What the hell's wrong with this meat?
Oh,
No, I'm not where our bloody come from. I'll tell you that. You know,
It's not cooked. Damn it! Take it back.
it's like,
That's
that's not corned beef.
Right on. So I just wanted to plug that. If you guys want to go down and get some good food, go to Country Stop Burgers in Ballantree.
Hang on a minute.
And I also wanted to mention the Sunflower Farm. That's up here in Beaverton. She's got over 200,000 sunflowers this year.
Yeah.
She planted them at 2 different times so that you'd have some early and some later. And they're all open right now. It's crazy.
Do you have something to do with the sunflower? Like, is that a friend of yours or something? Like,
it's my neighbor that's doing it.
is it okay?
And, yeah.
I wanna ask a question about that. Now,
Sure.
I have a friend who does corn mazes. Have you?
Yeah.
Do you find lots of condoms, or does he find or she find lots of condoms out there?
There are some. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Stuff happens. Well, and what she does too is she will rent out the entire field for people
For a
that
movie
want
set.
to do to do something special.
Mhm.
It'll do it like early or later in the day, not when the crowds are there.
Yeah.
And you can rent the whole place out
So
for an hour.
you
And
can
we had last year we had a bunch of nudes come up. A guy was filming or shooting nudes amongst the sunflowers.
so you can rent a sunflower farm, just kind of like the Mile High Club, but it's the Sunflower Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
On a horticultural note, I have a question here.
Okay.
I've always wanted to grow sunflowers. A
Yeah.
couple of sunflowers in the backyard. I've been in Ajax, I've been in Peterborough, I've been here. Can I
Yeah.
get them to grow? I need some good seeds. I don't know where I'm going wrong. Because everyone says they're so easy to grow.
They
Easiest
are
thing in the
super
world.
easy to grow.
Why don't they
She
grow?
does have seeds for sale.
Yeah.
And what she did have this year, which was really cool, she actually sold small sunflower plants in pots.
That's
So
what I
people
need.
could take them home and plant them in their garden, and you get,
Yeah. I'm
gorgeous
gonna have to
sunflowers.
do that. I'm gonna have to do that because it's like
Yeah.
it's on my bucket list to look out one morning when I've
Yeah.
got at the crack of noon when I've got up and look out and go sunflowers. 3 or 4
Well,
sunflowers.
you need to go online to thesunflowerfarm.ca
Yeah.
and check out where it is and go see Ursula there and tell her you want to grow some, and she will set you up.
Okay, gonna
Yeah.
do that.
They're
Another
doing
thing-
weddings there too, and all kinds of photo shoots. Like it's a pretty cool place.
Oh well, I'll leave my DJ card. Now things are,
Yes,
Boosted
that would be a good idea.
Oh, by the way,
And Danny says he's sorry he hasn't called you yet, but he will.
okay, no problem. That's
Yep.
no problem.
Yep.
Oh,
He's
by
just-
the way, don't forget. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, he just went through a big move. They moved.
Well,
So-
he's a busy guy, right? It's a busy
Yeah,
guy.
crazy busy.
Yeah, I know that. But don't forget the Atomic Ballroom tomorrow night.
Yes,
Twits, Tuesdays at 10, and George will see you then. That's my little plug.
there you go. There's a sunflower farm. Look at that. Thanks for doing
There you
that,
go.
Ringo.
I'll
That's
be
awesome.
driving by that Wednesday
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
on my way up to the cottage.
Right.
it's a really cool thing to go and see. There's mazes, walkways all throughout the entire field.
Mhm.
They have some pretty special equipment. When they planted the seeds, they programmed it into the machine that put the seeds in the ground, and it didn't plant where the pathways were going to go. So
Right.
that's pretty amazing.
Use GPS.
Yeah, and you can buy big bags
Sunflower
of
heads?
sunflower seeds, and they have T-shirts, hats, flowers. They got everything there. It's a
Nice.
must see. Yeah,
They do wedding.
Yep.
Set up weddings out there.
Yep. You just have to call and pre-plan your day or whatever, and you can have a sunflower field full of flowers to do your bidding.
So you can, you can find them at www.thesunflowerfarm.ca.
Yep.
Go onto their website. You can send them an email or give them a call at 416-316-9543.
Yep. There you go. Perfect.
So yeah,
So, well, boys, we did it again, didn't we?
Yeah, made it through another one.
We wasted an hour and a half of all our fans' lives.
yeah.
I don't know why they put up with us, but we love you guys.
We're just so lovable, that's why.
Yeah. And I want to thank Kathy and Murph and Keisha for being a part of the show today. It's
Yeah.
been fun. And I'm looking forward to catching you guys all when Darren's here next week, right?
Darren is the 23rd. Yeah, next week.
Next
Next
month.
week. All right. So next week, Darren, don't miss it. He
Darren
is freaking funny. Darren Frost. If you're not sure who he is, go online, check him out, and we're going to have him live on the Heikadelic show next Monday night.
Viewer
All right.
discretion is advised.
Absolutely. You guys got anything last that you want to throw out there, or are you everybody happy?
We're all happy.
You're all happy.
Yeah.
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 Happy, joy.
It's
All right,
75
boys.
weeks this Friday, but I've got a gig in September, so I'm all right.
75 weeks. I'm going to have to call Danny to give you a call so you get your ass out there. Play
Well, I
some
am on
music for
September
somebody.
the 11th. I've got a couple of things in September, yeah. So,
Oh, good.
so no, I'll have to
All right.
put my ass out there again.
Thanks, boys, for making the show. Thank you, fans, for listening. And we're going to catch everybody again next Monday night at 9:30 on the Heikadelic Show.
We'll hike
See
it
you
up there.
guys. Woohoo! Cheers.
Well, that's another wrap for the Heikadelic Show, folks, so time to get dirty. And don't forget, listen in next week on Monday night and every Monday after that for the Heikadelic Show at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like more information on the Heikadelic Show, please find us at www.theheikedelicshow.com or .ca. We'll see you all next week on the Heikadelic Show. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor for the Heikadelic Show, it's easy. Just send us an email at info@theheikedelicshow.com. Meanwhile, you can browse our website at www.theheikedelicshow.com or .ca. Click on our sponsor tab and find out more information on sponsorships. Thanks for joining the Heikadelic Show family. So yeah, those Halloween haunt guys are really something, aren't they? I like the video, and they're kind of scary. But I hope to see them again, maybe live next time. But I am going to check out their socials and look them up on Facebook for sure. And I'm going to like them because I like them. See you next time.